Hey guys, it's Thankful Thursday and it's Rachel. I want to apologise in advance that this video might jump around a bit. My webcam seems to be freezing on me, which is kind of quite annoying. I hope you all had a good Christmas. I know how hard this time of year can be for some of us, and I guess my only hope is that you at least found some peace and joy in a few moments, even if that's all you had, and that you can see maybe next year as being more hopeful and being brighter for you. It's New Year's Eve, and that means it's 2010 tomorrow, which is kind of a bit shocking really, given that it's been 10 years since the new millennium, and I'm thinking that it is a time of reflection really for many of us. I know for me it is, and I've sort of been thinking about where I was 10 years and how much has happened in the past 10 years. I know that the idea of a new year can be incredibly challenging and incredibly intimidating as well for many of us. I know that certainly when I was struggling, even when I was in recovery, that I had a couple of New Years where it was literally in bed, covers over my head, taking my meds and sleeping through it, as I didn't want to have to deal with it, and I don't really feel like that about this new year, but it is kind of the start of a new year always kind of terrifies me, and has me thinking that I have to put something in it that's going to be kind of amazing or brilliant, and I kind of feel that pressure quite a lot. So I'm trying to look forward to it and look forward to what's ahead. We're back to the normal rota this week, which means that today I'm looking at prioritizing yourself really, and prioritizing life or events or people or things in a way that can mean that I'm putting myself first, and I'm putting my health and my well-being first, and really taking care of myself, or you guys taking care of yourselves and putting that first. I don't know where some of you are at in recovery. I know for me that putting myself first has really come at the end of this journey for me. I don't think the journey particularly ends, but in terms of being well and kind of being sort of recovered, and I know for me that initially it was, the weight gain and stabilising my food and getting myself stronger, and then it was kind of dealing with getting back into life and getting back to university or working or whatever that it means for you, and moving on, whether it means moving out or finding work for yourself, supporting yourself, and then for me it was kind of dealing with what got me sick in the first place, dealing with the abuse, and being able to look at myself and put myself first has really only come in the past few months. And I know I've said this before to a lot of you, I've been in therapy for a really, really long time. I was first put in therapy in 2001. I've been working with my current psychiatrist and psychoanalyst since 2005, and that's when most of the really difficult work has been done. I spent a few years before that with the same therapist, really trying to keep myself alive really, so I could get to the point that I have been at in the past few years. So it's only been the last couple of months that I've been able to kind of let go of relationships or friendships that have been especially challenging and especially draining. My advice to you when it comes to putting yourself first is it doesn't matter what stage you're at in your recovery, that it's always going to be important to do that. But I also respect the fact that early on in recovery it's quite difficult to do that, because your sense of self-worth is still, and your self-esteem is still pretty low, and that for me has only been built up over the past year really, and that has meant having periods away from home and separating myself from my folks so that I can support myself, recognising relationships and friendships that are especially draining. And I guess that's what I would advise you to do now, is that to start by looking at what is particularly draining for you. Is there an event that's difficult, that's draining, that you have to, is there a way that you can make that event more bearable. And I'm thinking for me, maybe university. And so university initially was especially draining for me and used all my resources, so I didn't have any resources to socialise or look after myself, and I had to think, well, right, what can I do that makes this easier? And where I'm at now, I'm in my second year of my conversion, in my post-grad, and it has meant that I don't drain myself and work myself to the bone. It's meant putting boundaries with my work and saying, right, I'll work for X amount of time and then I'm going to have this time off, so that I don't completely destroy myself. Second to that is relationships for me. I do have friends still who struggle greatly, and I've had to let them go. I've had to not run around like a headless chicken for them, but sort of say, right, I can be there for them, but then I need space for myself. And that's something, like I say, has come over the past couple of months, and has been incredibly difficult. And at times I've felt like a really bad friend or like a really bad person, because I've had to say that enough, and I've had to set boundaries with, and I've had to do it with my parents, and it's been really, really difficult. But it has meant keeping myself safe and understanding that, say, a time like Christmas is about me too. So if I need to take time out and go home for a few hours, or be in my room for a few hours, watch a movie, do something that's about me, that's okay. And if it means I can't be downstairs with all like the socializing for a period of time, that's okay too, because it's about me as well, and it's about looking after myself, and it's about saying what is going to keep me healthy. And I've managed to stay well. There has been I know I haven't made videos on my own channel for a long time, but there's been huge shifts that have gone on this year, and it has been about saying what is about me and what is going to keep me safe. Some of the things that I've done maybe were a bit more impulsive, but were always about me wanting to be safe, and what's going to stop me from, say, self-harming or going down the path of my eating disorder again. And some of those things have seemed pretty dramatic and pretty drastic, whether that's saying to somebody who I've had a friendship with that, you know, I can't do this, I can't sit by and watch you destroy yourself. You know, I'm in a place where I'm pretty much recovered, and I don't need, that's not good for me, that's not what I need, and letting that person go, and just actually allowing that, not turning around the next day and saying, no, actually, it's okay, I can be here for you too, but saying, no, you need to look after yourself. And looking at the relationships that I especially want to be there for people. I've got two best friends who I especially want to be there for, and whether they struggle or not, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that they respect me, they respect my boundaries, and that we have a relationship based on something healthy, I guess. And so I've had that. And then I've got my close friends who I grew up with, who I want to be there for them if I can be. And you know, there are a couple of other relationships which have been difficult, but that I want that person in my life. So if I'm going to have that person in my life, I have to look at, right, how can I stay safe and be in their life, and actually do that and follow through with that. And I think that that's maybe the only advice I have for you in terms of prioritising your own health, is looking at what is actually detrimental to your health, and then thinking, you know, do I want this person in my life? Yes, I want this person in my life. Right, how am I going to do that makes that? Who can I talk to about that? Can I speak to a therapist? Can I speak to another friend about that? You know, and getting some support with that, and moral support that you know you're doing the right thing because you're doing what's best for yourself, and it doesn't mean that you're selfish. So I guess that's what I want you guys to take into the new year, that if you need to reevaluate what's in your life, who's in your life, and change that's okay too, and that you can write to us here at the Collab, you can ask us questions, you can email us, and you know, if you need a bit of moral support, that's okay, and it's okay to put yourself first. So I want to leave this year on that, really, for you, that recovery is about putting yourself first, and it is about learning to respect yourself, appreciate yourself. And you know, we have this relationship with ourselves when we've been sick that is hatred. It's built on hatred, and I want to say that it's okay to start to love yourself and put yourself first. And that's only going to help you, and it's only going to make you not only more recovered and help you on that journey, it's going to make you a better friend ultimately, because you know your boundaries. And sometimes we need to enforce those boundaries with people who don't know what boundaries are, and that can mean that sometimes you're learning with them, but that's okay too, you know. So I wish you all a great start to the new year. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and know that we're always here. So happy new year, guys, and I'll speak to you next week. Okay, bye.